Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, which is still like super weird to say. This will be my first makeup tutorial, and if you saw my other videos, thank you for watching me just talk and talk and talk. I appreciate it. I just kind of felt like I wanted to get all that out, and I feel better now, you know? But Valentine's Day is next week. I know a lot of people find Valentine's Day to be like super cheesy and lame and whatever, but I love it. I think it's so fun. And even though I am disappointed every single year, I still love it. And I just love I love having tiny little humans to do things with, okay? I love it. And I love getting them all Galentine'd out. And I love Galentine's. What a great idea. Whoever came up with Galentine's Day is like, is it Leslie Knope? I don't even know. Did she come up with it? If she did, she's amazing. So yeah, this first look is going to be a Valentine's Day look. It's gonna be a super casual one. Hopefully it's gonna be easy to follow, simple, cute. Yeah, if you're going on a day date or you're going to a Galentine's Day party, this might be a good look for that. Let's get into it. Okay, all right, so I want to get my hair out my face. I've already prepped my face. I don't wash my face in the morning. I have super dry skin, and I've noticed that if I wash my face twice a day, it just gets like really, really dry. The first thing I do is foundation. I am using Too Faced Born This Way in a color Vanilla. I really like this. I've used it about 2 years now, and I use it with my foundation brush from BareMinerals. I love this brush. I love it. It is the Core Coverage brush from BareMinerals. It's so dense, so well loved. I just think it's the perfect foundation brush. I'm not a sponge lover. I prefer brushes. I probably will try sponges again, but today we're using my favorite. So I usually put about a pump and a half, maybe two. I put it onto the brush, and then I'll just go put it on my face. I am a dabber. I don't like to streak, because I feel like it looks streaky when I do that. So I just dab. I am very red. Just like my skin is just like really red, and I haven't figured out what to do about it yet. If you've got some really great redness reducing products, I would love to know them so I can try them out. But I do like this foundation. I feel like it's got good coverage. I feel like it really tones my red. I do like a fuller coverage, mainly because of my redness, but I put the foundation all up on my eyes. I know people are like, only concealer on your eyes, but I'll do what I want. Oh, I got my makeup done by a girl at Sephora. It's actually kind of funny. She put foundation on my ears. I get it. I think it makes sense, but I've never seen anybody do that before. So let me know if you put foundation on your ears. I don't do it, but I totally get it. I really want to try all of the Born This Way collection. So my concealer is going to be Born This Way, and my foundation is Born This Way, and my pressed foundation is also going to be Too Faced Born This Way. So when I set, I'm going to set with foundation instead of a setting powder, because again, I like a full coverage. But yeah, so I'm going to try out the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. So when I went to the store to buy this, I kind of thought this was my color. So I go back in with the same fave brush and I blend it out. So when I went into Sephora and wanted to get this, I saw the color porcelain and I was like, oh, I totally think that's my color. And then I asked a girl that worked there, what she thought. She said porcelain, but I kind of think I would maybe want to go even a little bit lighter in my concealer. I have super, super dark under eyes. I find that a lot of concealers like just like turn me gray here. I mean, you can even kind of see it now. And it's funny because I'm sure like nobody looks at me and be like, why are her under eyes gray? But like, it's just so weird, the things we're self-conscious about. I blended out my concealer. And again, I think I would go a little bit lighter just to like brighten those areas more. I don't hate it. I think it looks good. If anybody else has like really dark under eyes and they have just like a concealer that they're obsessed with that like totally mutes this, let me know because I want to try it. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and set it with my Too Faced Born This Way foundation, also in vanilla. And I really like this new EcoTools brush I got. It is the sheer powder brush. It's really big and fluffy and soft, and I just really like it. And I just go ahead and put it all over. But I did want to get back to my story about the Sephora girl. So when I was getting my makeup done, you know, we were just kind of chatting. I told her how I used to work at Bare and, you know, I'd really like to get back into the makeup business, but having my babies at home, it kind of made that really difficult. She was like, why don't you start a YouTube channel? I was like, what? I was like, I don't even watch YouTube. Like, I really don't watch YouTube that much. Like, only like for very specific things and interviews of Harry Styles. But I also felt like there's just such a saturation of makeup artists, you know, on YouTube. Like, the industry doesn't need me, you know? And I told her, I was like, there's so many people out there, like, who would watch me? Like, and she's like, I'd watch you. Okay, Sephora girl, thanks. If you're out there, thank you for inspiring me 3 years ago. And I'm finally making it happen. I will say the one thing I don't like about this is I feel like when you're getting into it, you know, it like just like poofs and like flies everywhere. And like, I've never had a pressed foundation like do it that as much as this one does. I think it's got a nice coverage, but it just kind of makes a mess. It's just very dusty. So now I'm gonna go in with my bronzer, and I use this one from BareMinerals. I'm really not picky with bronzers. I just kind of like just use what I have. And this one is very well loved, but it is BareMinerals. It is their High Dive color. I'll show it to you. So again, well loved. I'm gonna go ahead and use another EcoTools brush. This one's called the Complexion Buffer. I am not shy with bronzer. I do like to get in there and sculpt it out. Also, does anybody else have like a side of their face they like better? But I always put it up here. I mean, and I kind of like go like a lot when I wear my hair up. And then, you know, you gotta get aggressive up in here. Oh, my plus size girls, you know what I'm talking about. And I will blend it all out, I promise. Okay, so then I usually just go back with that same brush I was using to set the powder, and I just kind of blend with it. And they say to like blend up, which I feel like is difficult. I don't know. Especially on this side of my face, it like really wants to like just like fall down. I don't know. Bring that bronzer down. I do sometimes contour my nose a little. It's not very often that I do that, but I will do that today. I like to go in with like a smaller brush, like something like this. This is also EcoTools. This is the classic concealer brush. I'll take just a little bit, you know, and go in when I kind of bring it up close to the brow. And I do like to carve out my nose. All right, so after I do that, I move on to brows and eyes, and we'll come back to the face again. And so now we're gonna zoom. So I have been growing my brows out for quite a while. I hardly ever take tweezers to them anymore, so they are pretty wild. I start, you know, I like to fluff them. Friends, if you have not heard of eyebrow laminating, they are so beautiful. They just look like beautiful little feathers on your face, and I am so obsessed. So I use Anastasia's Brow Definer. Brow Wiz is the really skinny one. But so I used to color my brows to match my hair. I did it for a long time, but I stopped doing it mainly because I felt like I looked weird when I wasn't wearing makeup. Like my eyebrows looked unnatural. So I stopped coloring them, but I still use the color Auburn in Anastasia. I know my eyebrows are not auburn, but I like the way that they look in the Auburn eyebrow pencil because I think it just goes really nicely with my hair. What I like about this is like the skinny side. I pretty much use the skinny side through the whole thing, but so I'll start outlining my brows. I go pretty light. I try not to be heavy-handed. I did, you know, the thick, dark, crazy brow look years ago. When I had silver hair, I really liked the look of like my really dark brows and then silver hair. I do like to do more feathered here. Then I'll use my little spoolie and kind of comb it out and then go in and fill them. Now I've got my brows done and we will move on to my eyes. I got this new palette from Makeup Revolution. It is called New Neutral. We're gonna do a romantic little look with it. I really like a super fluffy eyeshadow brush. I have no idea what brand this is. I'm pretty sure I bought it off Amazon, but I will try to find it and link it for you in the descriptions. Okay, so we are going to start with neutral, and I'm just gonna prep my eyes. So I hold my brush way back here. You don't wanna because then it gets just way too heavy-handed. So I hold it back here, I get in there, and then tap the excess off and just circle. Now that my eyes have neutral all over them, I'm gonna go in with Whisper here at the bottom. All in my crease and up here at top. With eyeshadow, it's all about the layers because you can always darken. It's harder to lighten. So I start soft and then I just gradually build because you can always go darker. I'm gonna go in now with this Majestic, and I'm gonna be super light with it because I don't know how dark it's gonna be. Okay, I like these colors. I am gonna go a little sparkly because it's fun. So we are gonna use some of this Jazz It Up to jazz it up. And I'm just gonna press it on. Very light sparkle action. It should be fun. I do use the same brush pretty much the whole time. So now I'm gonna go in with a little guy. I'm gonna go in with that Majestic color and go on my under eye. Kind of buff that out and clean that off. I'm gonna put like a concentrated amount of that Jazz It Up in my inner corners and probably use it as a highlight too. Maybe this Magic. I'll use the Magic as a highlight, I think. A very like concentrated amount. And just kind of press it into the corners. I definitely had some fallout, so I am going to brush some of that off. So I will go in and highlight my brow a little bit. I'm gonna go in with Jazz It Up to jazz it up because it really does not come out like that. Just kind of put it under my brow. So overall, I will say that I am not overly impressed with this palette. I think the colors are beautiful, but they just do not show up as pigmented as they look in here. I'm just going in and kind of blending it out a little more. And now I'm gonna use eyeliner. I'm just gonna do like a simple line. I've heard some people call it Stila. I don't really know. I've always called it Stila. I really love the Stila pencil because I do find it's really easy to use. I am not the queen of eyeliner, that's for sure. So I do take my arm and cross it. I find that's the easier way to do your opposite eye, opposite of your dominant hand. So there we go. Pretty simple. I like to do my mascara before I put on my lashes. I don't really ever do mascara afterward. So I just do like a simple coat on my top lashes just so they blend. This is just Maybelline's Lash Sensation. I'm not super picky with mascara, mainly because I do wear fake lashes. So it's more of just coating them so they match. I'm not trying to achieve much with my mascara. I do like a pretty bold bottom lash. I feel like it looks best when you're wearing fake lashes. So I do go pretty ham on my bottom set. These lashes, don't even know where they're from, Target maybe. But these are my favorite kind of like everyday look lashes. They are pretty simple. I like their very, very thin band. And then I'm using the Duo Brush-On Adhesive. I like this so much better than the little tubes. I don't know, I find that they're just a little more difficult to work with. The tubes are. I very much like this. So you open it and it's got a like wand applicator, which I really like. And I actually hardly ever use that skinny tip. I just take the fat guy and just run it across. And I am not a huge fan of tweezers. I just have not gotten the hang of them when it comes to falsies. Always just used my fingers. So I like to use the fat part of the wand and I really just run it across. I don't use that skinny part very often. Sometimes I do. So there we go. I've got my lashes on. And we will zoom out and work on the rest of my face. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to blush. And my blush is also BareMinerals. It is called the Aphrodisiac. I will show you the color. I know BareMinerals Blush has like a different packaging. I'm pretty sure it doesn't come with brushes anymore, but this is the Aphrodisiac color that I'm using today. And I'm just gonna go ahead in with my EcoTools. This is the tapered blush brush. And I like my blush to kind of run with my bronzer. I know some people, you know, they round out here. I think for my face shape, I don't really like to do that. I more run it with my bronzer, kind of sculpt my face even with my blush. So, and I do like a more bold blush, so I am not shy with it. And we will do highlighter. Again, BareMinerals. I am obsessed with this color and I don't think they make it anymore. I will cry when I'm all out. BareMinerals Secret Radiance. It is, we got some on the cap. It's like a rose gold. Gosh, I love it. I love these kind of brushes for my highlighter. Again, this is part of that Amazon pack I got. I couldn't tell you what it's called, but I will try to find it. I'm also not afraid of highlighter. Look how pretty that is. Wow. Yes, girl. Golden beauty. For my nose and my Cupid's bow, I just like to use my finger. Your finger is the best tool. It is your God-given tool. Praise the Lord. I do go down my nose. My Cupid's bow. I know some people put it on their chin. I'm not really a fan of that. I feel like my chin is already kind of oily in comparison to the rest of my super dry face. So I don't put it on my chin. All right, and lastly, we're gonna do lips. My cap just went flying, but we're gonna start with lip liner. This is the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in Starship. It's a really pretty pink color. I actually kind of like the liner color more than the lipstick I'm gonna use. So sometimes I'll just go in and just like fill in my whole lip with the pencil. And I'm not a huge like over liner. I don't do that very often. Here we go. So there you have it. Lips are lined, and we will go in with Colourpop's Bling Ring. I'm not a huge gloss fan, so I won't go over it with a gloss. I don't like that tacky feeling. I really like the smoothness of a cream lipstick. I do like matte lipsticks, but with my dry skin, my lips can be pretty dry as well. I love the look of a matte, but I don't always love the feel of a matte. But there you have it. That is my super simple Valentine look. If you liked this video, please hit subscribe, thumbs up it, thumbs it up. I don't know. Still getting used to the lingo, guys. And next week, a more glam Valentine's Day look.